Hello there. So today I want to discuss a little bit about renting a home in Costa Rica. So I do get some questions from people about where do you rent or how do you find a place. Well, I guess if you're just coming down for vacation, a lot of people use Airbnb, VRBO, those kind of websites. But if you are looking maybe for like a more long-term rental, I think my best suggestion would be to go on, see if there's when you've picked an area that you're looking at and that you think you might want to go stay for a few weeks or maybe a few months or for an indefinite amount of time, I would recommend finding a Facebook group to the area, whether it's usually like an expat Facebook group. There's usually, I would say most areas of Costa Rica have a group. Like for example, we have one here in Dominical, there's one for the Uvita area, there's one for Manuel Antonio. There's even one for up in the mountains. So I've definitely seen a lot of Facebook groups. There's even, I guess, a more general Costa Rica expat Facebook group as well. And maybe they could even point you in the right direction to the one for the area that you're looking for. So, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, so the ways that renting here is different than the United States. It's definitely less, from my experience, I would say it's definitely less formal. So, wow, I've lived in a lot of different places. And the prices obviously are going to vary from what area you're in. So, I guess the lowest I've paid for a place was $100 a month. And the highest I've paid was $550 a month. Again, that just depends how you want to live. So, okay, so my $100 a month cabina was very deep in a mountain, very secluded. It didn't have a refrigerator. It was all open air. It was kind of in this garden. It was like a cabina to a home. So that was a really cool experience, and it was definitely been there, done that. So it was just kind of a place I was putting my stuff when I was working in this adventure therapy company. So yeah, that's kind of, at least where I was, what was worth $100 a month. So let's say for $550 a month, you could get probably a nice, again, I don't know, it just depends where you are. So my apartment for $550 a month was in Capos, which is really close to Manuel Antonio. And for $550, it had air conditioning, a washer and dryer was shared and downstairs. Having a dryer here is awesome. I don't have a dryer in this house. I have a washing machine, and I'm actually going to do a video about Costa Rican washing machines because they're pretty different. And they're kind of interesting, but also very efficient and effective. But okay, so yeah, so that home, they typically come furnished too. So I guess it wouldn't be the same for all. And and maybe if you're looking outside of the San Jose area, maybe some homes would not come furnished, but there are a lot of options here in Costa Rica for long-term that come fully furnished. So that's really great because I've definitely moved around a lot, and it's been nice not to have to lug any furniture with me other than the baby's pack and play. And actually in this new home, I just moved into this house, and I'm going to do a house tour video like sometime when it stops raining. And so I got a pull-out couch for this house. So this is like my first big piece of furniture here in Costa Rica. So kind of, and the washing machine. So this is, now I'm feeling pretty official here now. Like I've officially purchased large objects that will be a project to move at some point. Okay, so yeah, so most of them come furnished. At two places I've lived, and like I said, this is out of many, only out of two places I've paid a security deposit. So at that one place in Capos that was $550, I paid a deposit. And when I moved outside of San Jose, because I moved out in Heredia to have the baby, and I paid for a security deposit in that apartment as well. So I was just kind of waiting for her to come because the hospital was up there. So yeah, so security deposits definitely aren't very common. I will say my last landlord asked for a month in advance notice if I was leaving, so I made sure to do that when I left because I basically moved right next to her, so we're still neighbors. So I want to keep everything nice and respectful here. But yeah, so security deposits aren't common. Again, it's just very casual. I mean, most places that I've moved in, I've either found through word of mouth or through Facebook. So I've gone, looked at them, said, okay, great, it's available now. They said, yep, it's available now. And I'd say, okay, I will move in next week. So I would definitely say looking for housing down here can be a little bit of a last minute process. Sometimes I do see people messaging, hey, I'm looking for something. Let's say, what month are we in? We're in October. Oh, I want to look for next April. That may not be as realistic. I mean, if you want to book a vacation rental, you could book that far out. But if you're looking for more local housing or where you plan to stay, it will be really hard for the landlord to determine if the space is going to be filled that April. So maybe if you're planning to come down, maybe poke around a little bit before, or maybe there is an expat or someone here who can guarantee you, okay, yes, in half a year I will have the space open for you. So I'm not going to say it's not possible, but at least in my experiences so far, it's been easier to kind of look right about when I'm looking for housing. And then I just see what's open and available. Yeah, so I would say, no deposits for the most part. Everything's very informal. I've just kind of let landlords know, okay, we're moving in, pay them every month, pay cash. And then you just let them know when you're moving out. Again, yeah, a lot of homes do come furnished, which is a big plus. With appliances too. And when I do the home tour, I guess I can talk about what kind of appliances are, because here you can see this is my stove. So even just some of the appliances here are a little bit different than you would find in the United States or other countries, or just maybe what you might be accustomed to. So yeah, that's all I have to really say about renting a home in Costa Rica. I would just recommend getting onto a Facebook group. There also is one other website called Encuentra24. It's kind of like the equivalent to Craigslist, but here in Costa Rica. I actually used that website to find my apartment when I was in Heredia. But Heredia is like right outside of San Jose, outside of the big city. So it was very common for people to use that. I would say in the more like outside of the city areas, maybe along the beach, probably not as many people are using that website. So again, word of mouth, Facebook, just kind of poking around and seeing what's available before you come down. Or if you come down, stay at a hostel, stay at a hotel, just start asking around wherever you are if that's where you decide that you want to stay. And I think that's it. Thanks for listening.